بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. We continue with the brief history of Khalifa Umar bin Abdul Aziz from governorship to the real leader, the Khalifa. Shortly after his accession, Umar overhauled the administration of the provinces. He appointed competent men that he could control, indicating his intention to keep a close eye on provincial administration. Wellhausen noted that the Caliph did not leave the governors to their own devices in return for the forwarding of the provincial revenues. Rather, he actively oversaw his governors' administration, and his main interest was not so much the increase of power as the establishment of right. He subdivided the vast governorship established over Iraq and Eastern Caliphate under Abdul Malik. Viceroy Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf Sulaiman, appointed to this super province. Yazid ibn al-Muhallab was dismissed and imprisoned by Umar for falling to fall the spoil from his earlier conquest of Tabaristan along southern Caspian coast to the Caliphal treasury. In place of Ibn Muhallab, he appointed Abdul Hamid bin Abdul Rahman ibn Zayd bin Khattab, a member of Khalifa Umar family, to Kufa. Adi ibn Arta al-Fazari to al-Basra, Jarrah bin Abdullah al-Hakami to Khurasani, and Amr bin al-Muslim al-Bahili, a brother of the conqueror Qutayba ibn Muslim, to Sindh. He appointed Umar ibn Hubayra al-Fazari to the Jazira, Upper Mesopotamia. Although many of these appointees were people of al-Hajjaj or affiliated with the Qais faction, Umar chose them based on their reliability and integrity rather than opposition on Suleiman's government. Umar appointed Al-Samh ibn Malik al-Khawlani to Andalus, Iberian Peninsula, the presently Spain, and Ismail ibn Abdullah to Ifriqiya, Africa. He chose the governors because of their perceived neutrality in the tribal factionalism between the Qais and Yemen, and justice toward the oppressed. Military policy. After his accession, in late 717, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, the second Umar, the withdrawal of the Muslim army led by his cousin Maslama ibn Abdul Malik from the abortive siege against Constantinople to the region of Antioch and Malatia, closer to the Syrian frontier. He commissioned an expedition in the summer of 780 Hijriya to facilitate their withdrawal. Umar kept up the annual summer raid against the Byzantine frontier out of the obligation to jihad. He remained in northern Syria after residing at his estate in Khunasira, where he built a fortified headquarters. At some point in 717, he dispatched a force under Ibn Hatim al-Nu'man al-Bahili to Azerbaijan to disperse a group of Turks who had launched damaging raids against the province. In 718, he successively deployed Iraq and Syrian troops to suppress Kharijite rebellion of Shawdab al-Yashkuri in Iraq. Some sources say the revolt was settled diplomatically. Umar is often deemed as a pacifist by the source and Cobb attribute to the Caliph wariness to concern over the diminishing fund of the Caliphal treasury. Wellhausen asserted that Umar was disinclined to wars of conquest, well known that they were waged not for God but for the sake of spoils. Blankenship considered this reasoning to be insufficient. He proposed it was the massive loss faced by the Arabs in the abortive siege against Constantinople, including the destruction of their navy, that caused Umar to view his position in Al-Andalus, Spain, separated by the rest of the Caliphate by sea and Cilicia, as acutely vulnerable to Byzantine attack. Thus, he favored withdrawing Muslim forces from these two regions. This same calculus led to him to consider withdrawing Muslim forces from Transoxiana, so as to show up the defense of Syria. Sha'ban views Omar's effort to cap the offensive as linked to the resentment of the Yemeni element of army, who Sha'ban views to have been politically dominant and Umar at excessive deployment in the field. Although he halted further eastward, the expansion of Islam in a number of cities in Transonia precluded Umar withdrawal of Arab troops from there. During his reign, the Muslim forces in Al-Andalus conquered the fortified Mediterranean coastal of Narbonne in modern-day France. Rahimahullah. May Allah be pleased with him. May Allah guide us and all our leaders to be righteous and justly over the Muslim and non-Muslim subject. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted us rain, and we pray him to grant us a rain that will not affect us and bring destruction. Inshallah. Allahumma sayyiban nafi'a. Allah, we ask you for a peaceful and a moderate good rain.